I know it's hard to believe, but I am not a perfect divine being, and I too am full of sin. Today, I'll list every error in all of my public videos, including those from my 2 secondary channels, in order to repent for all my wrongdoing. We're going chronologically, so let's turn the clock back 6 years to... I included a double space in this sentence in the Subnautica etiquette. Yes, I know, starting with the most minor error imaginable. Deal with it. B-Movie Script Part 1's thumbnail should say B-Movie Script Part 1. B-Movie 2 was supposed to be titled B-Movie Script Part 2. The title of B-Movie Script 4 is supposed to be B-Movie Script Part 4, and the thumbnail mistakenly includes a colon. In the days of the week, I misspelled Wednesday as Wednesday. What a first grade level mistake. In Let It Grow But Only When O'Hare, Granny Norma, or Sai are on screen, I didn't include this scene where Granny Norma is visible. I mistitled BFDI Impressions Part 2 as BFDI Impression 2 and capitalized the B in puffball. If you think it's stupid for me to include mistakes like these, then I implore you to read the first 2 words of this video's title, since you're obviously so damn smart. I misspelled forever as fofever in both the title and thumbnail of Rip Annotations Fofever to 2017. I will fofever have to live with this mistake. In Let It Grow But Only When O'Hare, Granny Norma, or Sai are on screen, I didn't include this scene where Granny Norma is visible. Wait, didn't you already mention this error? Yes, but I uploaded this video twice. Arguably, me re-uploading this video counts as an error in of itself, but maybe this was a 500 IQ play. I used the wrong your and forgot the apostrophe in can't in 3 reasons I hate the PARCC. Here's a message to my old self. Can't your brain do better than this? You see what I did there? Pretty clever. In If Browsers Had Feelings, I capitalized the second O in Yahoo. 2 images of Doge vanished for no reason in a video I made. Throughout Confession, the audio repeatedly skips sections. Here's a snippet of the correct audio. Feel like a failure, 'cause I know that I failed you. And here's what it sounds like in Confession. Feel like a failure, 'cause I know that I failed you. 6 years later, I'm still clueless as to how this happened. Also, I used the word make instead of makes. In Really Late April Fools, I didn't capitalize April Fools, said might have instead of might have, included a double space in this sentence, and misspelled recently as recently. Additionally, I misspelled wanted as wanted. Maybe the real April Fool was me all along. A drawing of a cow disappears before reappearing, and the audio repeats itself in the broken tablet. Thanks. In Face Revival, I misspelled transition as transition. I forgot the apostrophe in I'm in update video and said breasts instead of breathes. Honestly, this ain't my fault. Who the f decided that this random word should have an E added at the end when it's used as a verb? Whoever it is, I will kill them. I crammed 2 double spaces into 1 sentence in Retro Circles awesome level made by Nacho21. Honestly, calling Retro Circles an awesome level should also count as an error, as playing it is just as enjoyable as getting waterboarded. In Easy Hard Demon Dimension Machine by Punky Soul 100% with Benji Yeti, the audio glitches out. There's an audio glitch in Dancing Brazil Dog Green Screen MP4 dances at the Peppa Pig remix song for 30 minutes, and later, the screen goes black. In fact, it goes black a total of 82 times throughout the entire video. Yes, I counted. Sometime after, the audio skips a beat. Then, the audio cuts out, and returns after some minutes. The audio cuts out once again afterwards, and finally returns once more. I watched this entire video at 2 times speed, and let me tell you, hearing this for minutes on end made me feel like I was developing schizophrenia. There's a small audio glitch in Trip Around the Cosmos #1, The Adventure.
This place is very weird. It's just...
When I say every error, I am not f***ing around. I misspelled tomorrow as tamamaro in Teth Thing. In a video Okay Whatever, I repeated my mistake in the days of the week, misspelling Wednesday as Wednesday and forgetting to capitalize the W. Though this video is all about errors, I'd like to talk about something that isn't an error: subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this and thinking, wow, this guy is hilarious, he's like George Carlin plus Andy Kaufman plus Dave Chappelle before he became a transphobic piece of then you should take the red pill. Subscribing to my YouTube channel. I repeated another error in Burger King advertisement proposal by misspelling recently as recently. The background is black instead of white at the beginning of Shlant, Gucci Wolf, Gucci Gang parody old. God damn it, why does Gucci Wolf come up in so many of my videos? I swear, I'll be on my deathbed, my grandson is gonna mention Gucci Wolf, and I'll instantly flatline. There's an audio glitch in second channel announcement,
Friend pack me to say.
And the audio repeats itself.
Insert outro here. Insert outro here.
In Shlant's July 4th special, there's an audio glitch,
Today and for all you Americans.
and the audio repeats itself.
Okay, here's the video. Okay, here's the video.
Why do I have a sense of deja vu? The Windows Video Player UI can be seen in How to Get Free Club Penguin Coins 2007, and my cursor is visible on the right side of the screen, because apparently I had the tech skills of a teacher showing a YouTube video in class. In my new intro, the screen becomes fully visible while it's fading out. I also misspelled sped up as spaped up. The screen flashes gray in Why Donkeys Are Super Cool 2007, and later there's an audio glitch. Also, I've mentioned this before, but what possessed me to make not 1, not 2, not 19, but 4 joke videos in 1 month? I showed a screenshot with my old username in Welcome to my channel, even though I had already changed my name to Shlant by then. In read description, Terraria Mage playthrough number 1, a big hashtag yellow swag moment, I misspelled legitimate as legitimite. I went on to use the word inhabitable instead of habitable. Did I watch this entire video only to find 2 minuscule errors? Yes, but hey, at least this video is watchable, unlike Dancing Brazil Dog Green Screen MP4 dances at the Peppa Pig remix song for 30 minutes. In American Dad speedrun in 5.073 seconds, any percent new intro Xbox 360 re-release amazing glitch, the beginning of a sound effect is cut off. I misspelled possessed as possessed twice in 666 number 5, the new possession. What possessed me to make a mistake like that? In my 3-year anniversary video, there's a weird visual glitch as an image fades in. This happens 3 more times. The same visual glitch in my 3-year anniversary video happens twice in naming all my videos up to now. The screen flashes black 2 times afterwards. The same visual glitch in naming all my videos up to now happens in Sprouts 2, and I incorrectly capitalized and added an apostrophe to Sprouts Farmers Market. Also, I listed Musharo as a patron twice and forgot to mention a random blobfish. Yet again, the same visual glitch in Sprouts 2 happens in YouTube's comment copying. Please don't tell me it happens in the next. The same visual glitch in YouTube's comment copying happens in If Browsers Had Feelings too. 2020 me, why did you have to make life harder for yourself 3 years later? The text Win key randomly appears in the top 10 most useful keyboard shortcuts. Additionally, there's an audio glitch.
So here's what you can do.
There's some text that's almost entirely cut off by the edge of the screen in Trying Minecraft Anarchy 0B0T. I think it's supposed to say gaming montage, but this will forever stay an unsolved mystery. An image of a purple mountain has a white spot on it in Trip Around the Cosmos 2, The Search. Also, this frame mistakenly appears on screen. Later, this period has a tiny section cut off. Soon after, I used the word musing instead of missing. Then, this weird frame appears. On top of that, 3 images of helicopters prematurely vanish. Once more, another weird frame appears. Finally, some static flickers black. I made my biggest mistake ever in a very cool announcement bad video, when I didn't render the first 50% of the video, which is why it starts like this.
Pretty funny, right? Haha.
I talked about the part that I didn't render in this video, so go watch all of that video, like it, and subscribe. I re-uploaded a very cool announcement bad video onto Shlanted under the name What This Channel Is, and made the same error. Incorrectly panned frames appear 12 times in the trending page worldwide. Some text moves when it's not supposed to 4 separate times. Later, the letter D suddenly appears on screen, and the screen flickers. Further on, a video moves when it's not supposed to. Also, I showed a video of trench warfare when I mentioned Ukraine. Good prediction skills from me. In Khan Academy first grade math speedrun in 437.9, former world record, I misspelled noticed as noticeed. I repeated a long forgotten error by saying could've instead of could have in Khan Academy first grade math speedrun in 324.25, former world record. Also, this text mistakenly moves. The screen goes black twice in TNT Run is Intense, and this image of a drum gets its sides clipped off a few times. Also, I have to point out this text that reads, comment XTWEA if you see this. If you're listening to me right now, comment XTWEA. In changes of coming to this channel, the background zooms out prematurely. Then, an image of my logo appears way too big. An image of Big Chungus is panned incorrectly in That's the Cutest Thing I've Ever Seen, a slanted video. This video is making me say some sentences I'd never thought I'd say. I didn't capitalize fall in looking at my old terrible content. Soon after, a drawing of a leaf has a visual effect applied onto it prematurely. Additionally, an image of a guy running towards a clock unintentionally moves. Then, this text is cut off by the edge of the screen. Later on, this text is messed up to hell and back. Seriously, what the happened here? Afterwards, some text moves when it's not supposed to. I forgot the hyphen in Kool-Aid, but this ain't even a real mistake, TBH. There's also this text that shouldn't move, but does. Soon after, yet another piece of text moves when it shouldn't. 2 times. Further on, this image of a weird BTS fanfiction mistakenly moves. Please ignore what's happening in this image. On top of that, I said and instead of an because, as I so eloquently put it, I'm an idiot. This ellipsis is partially cut off and even more text moves out of line. My lord, is this video one hot mess. In top 10 worst Shlant videos, this text moves when it shouldn't. My lord, text moving has caused me so many problems. When will it end? This text flickers when it changes. Then, this image moves at the wrong place, wrong time. Finally, this image of a webcam moves prematurely. This white box appears in If Companies Were Honest. Stare into it too long and it will consume you. An image of PewDiePie's profile picture zooms down the screen for no reason in the hidden story of Mr. Beast. Then, I misspelled unknown as unknown. Soon after, some text moves out of line. Right after, I added a hyphen to the phrase a half for absolutely no reason. Further on, I threw in a confusing I in the phrase, but that's just something I have to do, creating this mess of a sentence. In totally original content full series, a vignette and red tint disappear prematurely. There's incorrect scene transitions 3 times throughout the video. Partway through, this patch of grass and water acts strange. Later, a vignette vanishes before it should. Then, the screen blurs when it shouldn't twice a few minutes apart. Afterwards, this image of a cow starts moving all wonky. That's strange, right? Also, this image of a giraffe does the same. Near the end, these images of animals all start turning blue before intended. The Linux logo and pride flag flicker on appearance in Parks and Recreation tribute to r/196, a slanted video. The same happens shortly afterwards with this video of a rambling British guy being compared to a Chad. That's a sentence which will get me sent to a retirement home when I'm a senior telling stories to my grandchildren. 10,000 Star, Balls Mountain by Pinecones, a Shlant GD video, should say stars in the title, not star. Sections of text are slightly cut off 11 times in Shlant 5 Years of Chaos. A thumbnail is flipped upside down due to my stupidity. Later on, this subtitle reads December 21st, 2020 to August 18th, 2021, when it should say August 18th, 2021 to March 27th, 2022. Is right, you stupid f***ing. An unintentional zoom in on an image of brie cheese happens in What is the Best Dairy Product. Deeper in, the acronym GTBHOOH is said to mean get the bloody hell out of hell when it really means get the bloody hell out of here. Later, an image of ice cream shrinks when it shouldn't, and another image follows shortly after. In Making Bank in Euro Truck Simulator 2, minute is plural when it shouldn't be. Also, the video and audio cut out at one point. Additionally, you can get fined for going over the speed limit. This text doesn't fade out when all the other text does in the 12 months worst to best. Later, some text shrinks even though I've only been cooperative and nice towards it. In Burgers Around the World, I forgot to add a space in the phrase after all. In the top 10-15 best Geometry Dash mashups, a Shlant GD video, I listed Katy Perry as the artist behind Just Dance and Bruno Mars as the guy behind Moves Like Jagger. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm an expert in music history, no biggie. An image of a traffic light slides to the right in the evolution of traffic lights with add a random blobfish. Later, I misspelled committing as commiting because I apparently wasn't committed to factual accuracy. Dostoevsky is misspelled as Dostoevsky in reviewing 36 classic books in 3 minutes. Add that one to the mistakes I could have easily left out but decided to include out of pure dedication list. Keep adding to that list because I also didn't capitalize English. I misspelled praised as prayazed and said books instead of book in the same sentence. An image of an ornament flashes on screen when it should already be off screen. I forgot to include the word luck in this sentence and thus sound like an idiot by saying so good reading any of it out loud. An image of Vladimir Putin squishes and stretches in an admittedly hilarious way in Ukraine 1 year of war. The video glitches out the wazoo a whole 6 times throughout this video, and goddamn do I wish I could make parts of my videos look like this on command. This is cool as hell. On top of everything I've listed in this video, add on any errors I forgot about, any that I made in this video, and any in one of these 6 videos since I'm creating them alongside this video. And with that, I'm finally free. I have repented for all of my sins, and I am finally free to enter God's kingdom. Except I'm not dead yet. And making a mistake in a video is not a sin. Also, I'm already guaranteed a spot in the boiler room for being a non-believer. Why did I make this video?